What is going on YouTube? Is FlopFish here, and welcome to another NHL 14 HUT player review. Today we've got Jonathan Tavares, who is an 89 overall center sniper from the New York Islanders. You can find him for about 120k on average. His stats break down to 85 in skating, 90 in shot, 90 in hands, 85 in checking, 86 in defense. He's 6'1", 205 pounds, and a left-handed shot. And also his in-game faceoffs seem to be about around a 75 overall, which means he's slightly below average in the faceoff dot, and not really someone you'd want to actually run in the center position, just from my experiences personally with him and from his in-game stats. Other than that, he's probably one of the most debated players of if he is good or if he is bad. And there's pros to him and cons to him. And again, this is just from what I hear and from what I experience with him personally. I feel like this accurately sums him up. And that is the fact that he is a very mediocre player when it comes to foot speed. And that's putting it politely. He is slow. He is not exactly a player you're going to be skating up the ice with very, very quickly at all, in any way, shape, or form, and that is where you're going to have good supporting line mates for him. And that was my biggest challenge for him, was finding people who work good with him. One of the people that I had working good with him, ironically, was Granlund. Granlund seems to be the one player who works really well with everyone for me, but aside from Granlund and Couture was another player who worked really well with him. Aside from those two, there was really no one I was super duper impressed with as far as keeping up with Tavares. And just a little foreknote, I forgot to mention this, I actually ended up losing a lot of my gameplay that I had with Tavares, and this was the only game I had left. But luckily it was this one, because there's a bit of a clip I want you guys to see in this one of Tavares. But yeah, anyways, back on topic here, and he seemed to just really struggle with a lot of centers and line combinations I used him in. Again, I tend to run him with, I ran him with Gagne, I ran him with Stepan, I ran him with Couture, I ran him with Star of the Week Eller, I ran him with a ton of people, Hurdle. I could just keep on naming people as centers, and really the only one who stood out to me an impressive amount when he was actually on the wing and had a center was Couture. And that's going to be a bit of an issue that you'll have with him, is finding a good combination for him. But when you find a good line mate for him, someone who complements his game really well, he plays really well. And his shot is fairly good. I'd say it's in the same range as actually Couture's, and that is why I like him as a player. Is it worth 120k? His shot alone, not so much in my opinion. His skating, definitely not. Do not buy him purely for his skating. There's other reasons that I think he is better and worth every single puck. And the main one for me is actually his deking. His hands are phenomenal in this game, and you're going to see it right here. I'm freeze it just so you guys be forewarned. He has the best spinoramas in the game. Just look at that. On a dime, and instant scoring chance just like that, and he continues his same speed in and out. It's one of the pros to him being slower is that he can maintain it, but a lot of players cannot do a spinorama that effectively, and it creates so many more chances, and that is why he is worth the pucks in my opinion. If you like to do spinoramas and you like to have players who kind of work the puck like that, he is very well worth it. But be forewarned, you're going to have trouble finding a center with him. His defensive stats were, they were just alright. If I were to rank them again on the scale of 1 to 10, with kind of 7.5 being about average, I'd put him at like a 7.5, somewhere in there. His shot, I'd give it a 9. His hands, I'm giving them a 10. His skating, I'm giving it a 5, because it is just, it's not what you expect with 85 skating. He actually should be faster in the game in my opinion, but he does not play faster, so just a huge warning there. If you guys like to kind of skate up the ice really fast, he is not the player you want to run. And that's pretty much where I sit with Tavares. I hear tons and tons of mixed opinions on him, and I kind of want to know what your guys' are as well as mine. But overall, again, strong points for him and why he's worth the pucks is A, because of his hands, and B, because of his shot. The weak point by far for him is his skating, but other than that, he's one of those players that you need to have solid line mates with, and you need to find people that work with him. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling a lot. And again, I can kind of experience that with a lot of people, and it's something that just keeps on being echoed whenever I hear someone mention Tavares. Anyways, guys, that is all that there is to this review. Again, I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on Tavares as well, because that's from my experiences and many other people. And let me know if you guys like him or you don't like him if you use him, because again, I've heard people who said he's one of the worst players puck for puck in the game, and I've also heard some of the people saying he's one of the best players in the game because he can just absolutely deke on a dime, and his hands are really impressive that way. So anyways, guys, that is all she wrote. Take it easy and peace out.